Warning, the topics discussed in today's events are the perspectives and opinions of the Ladies of Herview. Viewer discretion is advised.
Happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Herview, What Women Really Think. It's your girl, Coach Tay, Media Maven.
I'm Shawnee, your self-love enthusiast.
I'm Ernie, the military wife coach.
I'm Adrian, your favorite mental health counselor, and today we're celebrating National Girlfriend and Friendship Day. Cheers to that, ladies.
Cheers!
Clink, 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 clink.
So today we're talking about friendships and relationships. Do you guys know the difference between a day one versus someone that you've known the longest?
One thing I know really quick, they don't have to be the same person. Just saying.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
Oh.
No. Day ones. Everyone thinks day ones are the people that you have known the longest, and it's, I've known them since I was in diapers. Absolutely not. They can lose their day one spot when loyalty, when honesty, when dependability comes in the way. Your day ones are the people that you meet on that first day, and they have been solid since day one. That could be 2 weeks ago. That could be 2 months ago. But since day one, this person has been your rock of Gibraltar. Your best friend, they do this.
Up and down.
Best friends are roller coasters, and it's we agree here, we don't, we grow together, we grow apart. There's a difference. I was tired of people calling people who they've known the longest day ones.
Right.
That's not
right. I think there's like so many friends you will meet throughout your journey, and some people, their status will change, as you go on your journey, and it's about who's riding with you and who has the most in common with you at that point in your journey. It doesn't mean that, anyone else is like less of a friend or anything like that. Right. It's just that right now you might be focused on a podcast, and that may be your thing. And so they have friends where you just share ideas all the time. You're super excited. And those are the people you speak to more often, you know? So it's a matter of where you are in your journey and how the person is like stepping up and being present in that part of your journey, I think.
I feel like also like sometimes people are like so afraid to let go of friendships because it's like, that's my day one, or like we've been kicking it since preschool. And it's like you said, sometimes you're on different journeys at different times. And it's like, I'm sorry, where I'm trying to go, you're not necessarily trying to go. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But, I can't, be around you, maybe like if you don't have the same mindset as me.
Yep,
right now,
that part.
Because I'm trying to do something and you're not, and you're trying to persuade me to do other things, or you're not really investing in my idea. You don't believe that it could happen and stuff. So sometimes like no matter if it's day one or if you know them since pre-K, you just gotta let go.
Yeah. I think about it being like in terms of loyalty as well. Like there are people who I've met in high school that their loyalty, because that was like a really big transition for me when I went to high school, because I went to a private school, that the friends that I met there, I was like, I'm rocking with them for life, because it was like we were the only like 5 Black girls in the school. So it kind of was like it depends on the circumstances as well for me and like what you go through. Right. But then like once I got to college, it kind of was like we lost not like contact, but the phone calls get smaller, the check-ins, and then but now it's like you could pick up the phone and you call them and you're on the phone for 5 hours. Because to me, that's my day one. That's my part of God. That's somebody who I really consider. Now, I think it's a difference between day ones and best friends.
Okay.
People will say, because they're my day ones, that's my best friend. No, you can meet somebody 3 days and somebody that was in your life forever who has more or the best intentions for you in your life.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like I was one of those people when I was younger. Like I had a best friend that lived on my old block, and I was like, I just know we're gonna be best friends till we're 80. And I was so disappointed. Like she moved away, and that was like the first time like I really saw like friendship break apart. And I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't know how to handle it. Like at first, we were still in contact, but then that like slowly faded. And we were young too. We were like, when she moved, she probably was like 11. We were like 11 years old, but eventually I had to just like let it go and understand that like sometimes people come for seasons and reasons, and then you have to let go of things. Sometimes it hurt, and I think that's the problem too. Like people are afraid of dealing with the hurt. In friendships. So like it hurt, but yeah, like if I see her on Facebook or something, like I always write a little comment. She write a little comment, and we just like, all right, girl.
Yeah, girl.
Like, do you think you can have more than one best friend, or is it that title's just for one person?
Ooh.
No, I think you can have more than one.
I agree. I feel like I've picked up like more best friends.
How many best friends do you have?
I'm just saying, like I have a core of 5 people that I know I can call any time of the day, night, whatever, and they're gonna answer. Even if all right, maybe they might be asleep or whatever, but somebody's gonna respond first thing in the morning or whatever. And then, I have those friends that, we're cool, whatever, but there's just those 5, they know every single aspect of my life. And it's just, I love them. And so when someone says, who's your best friend? It's hard for me to just
say who.
Yeah.
Well, when you think about it that way, Shawnee, I think about it like if you got married, who's going to be your maid of honor? And would it be your best friend? Because will you have 5 maid of honors? And so you can have 5. She's like,
it's my wedding. Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I do what I want.
You got that. It's her party.
0 bridesmaids and 5 maid of honors.
Exactly.
Not even
some of them gonna be matrons. So there's gonna be some matrons.
Okay.
She just
Shawnee, is it like that you have 5 different best friends because they all have like a uniqueness to them that is just for them, right?
Yeah, I think like your friends are definitely like an extension of your personality. They're the most of that part of your personality. So you can be funny, but then you have that friend that's funny as fuck, and you love them because they're always gonna have jokes or whatever. And you could be really smart, and then you have this friend who's just like book smart and just knows like everything going on in the news and stuff like that. So I think they're just extremes of your personality. Yeah, so I love them all the same.
For me, it's weird. I have 5 best friends, but only 2 of them are female. 3 of them are male.
Okay.
And the funniest thing about my male best friends is they're all from some part of New Jersey. And so I could never take another male best friend ever in life again. Because I'm like, you're not from Jersey, you won't fit in. Like, you just don't get by. You
don't match us.
Get it.
But it's like the male best friends that I have are like, they're my brothers. Like when me and my husband got together and I said, here's my deal breakers, their names were like, if you can't get with this, because who they are to me and who they've been to me, we ain't gonna work out because they don't move.
Yeah,
they don't move to me like they will.
And obviously, they respect your relationship, right? Because they love you, respect you. So right, they're gonna get along with your spouse. So I think it's weird that anybody that you are very close to would not get along with the person that you're with. Like that's just that doesn't make sense.
They got different brothers. Some people that be like, "Oh, that's my sister." Well, you don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Right? What's your definition of homegirl?
But that's another thing too about best friends. You have to make sure that your definition of best friends matches your best friend's definition of best friends. And if they don't, are you willing to change a few things? Are you willing to, or is it like, we're just going to keep doing this because I want you to be this way and you're this way?
I was going to say, I think what Ernie said was very true. Like you came into the relationship and you told your husband, like, listen, these are my deal breakers. Like these 3 guys, they've been with me because I have a male best friend too. And when I started dating my boyfriend, like I had to make it very good. Like he knew about him before we even like entered a relationship, but it was like, okay, he's just a friend, like a friend. And sometimes you do have to like really explain that because everybody's definition of bro and sis ain't the same nowadays, right? Like, oh, that's my bro, but I slept with him, but No, like this is my best friend. We kick it. We talk on a deeper level. That's it.
Right.
And he's a part of me now. Like I'm not. I don't want to give him up because you can't understand that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now I will say this too. I had before there was four, and I had one, and we had to stop being best friends because no matter what, his spouse was not cool with us being friends.
Wow.
Like never got to know me, never got to understand like this is family. Like my mom, my sisters call him bro and son, like, and not because they want him to be in a family, but it's like also when you have best friends, you may lose them for them to, because I want him to be happy. So I had to like, all right,
that's maturity.
In your house. The crying wasn't mature. I did a whole ugly cry.
But
Ernie,
Ernie,
you know what I'm saying?
Ernie, I always thinking about like honesty. Like you and Adrian said, like it's about the relationship. But if you come into the relationship and we've been together for 2 to 3 months and I ain't meet her before, I don't see her, I never heard of her, and then a year later, 2 years later, you like, that's my sis. No, it's no new friends. We're not doing this. No, you don't know her. She gotta go. Like she gotta go. And then you talk about respecting the relationship. If she's not somebody that knows who I am and the place that I play in your life, then she has to go regardless if you was friends 15, 20 years later, 30 years. Right. Because if she doesn't understand that, then she doesn't understand it. Now, flip side of it, my brother used to be my best friend, right? I used to call him my best friend because our birthdays are a year and 10 days apart. So we would celebrate like our birthdays. Yeah, we're all like back to back. You know, my mom was
all those Leos.
Yeah, she was. But then he got married and then he was like, nah, that's my best friend. And I was like, oh, I'm hurt a little bit. But I was like devastated. But me and her became like really, like we've been friends our whole life, but I feel like our relationship grew. So I was like, well, why you gotta like, what is it about the labels of best friends versus close friends? Because I used to call people associates and they felt slighted by it. But I used to be like, well, we're cool, but we're not that cool. So would you be offended if somebody would like to call you a different type of label that you were like, I'm not an associate, or I'm not like.
There's two ways to look at that. One side of that is if I find the relationship deeper than you do, and then you call me an associate, then I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I value you more than you value me.
Right.
But the other side of that, I think it's a society thing. People in society don't want to be told that they're just an associate because what they put on it, but like you haven't done anything to be my friend. Let's say, like I'm not gonna tell you my business. Like we ain't there yet. But then, like it's just, I don't think people value the word friend, let alone best friend.
Right, and I think with that, there comes those expectations. Right, when I have an idea of a friend, I expect a friend to be able to do certain things, and when you don't live up to those expectations, then I got to take you out of that level of friend. I think there's different stages of friendships. And then there are some people that will place themselves in your life and, you know, try to pretend like y'all are so close and y'all just, you know, they know everything about you when they really don't. And then when you don't treat them the way they feel they should be treated in that position, then it's like, oh, but I thought I was more. How could you treat me? And you're like, I never asked you to be any of that.
Oh.
Never put you in them shoes.
You straight
right. And it's like you gotta like just reevaluate the whole situation because no, I'm not gonna treat you that way because one, I don't think you act that way that you deserve that kind of status. And two, like, no, I didn't ask you to do that. You being extra, like fall back.
You don't get that title for a temper tantrum.
Exactly. Now you definitely not getting that title at all.
And I'm not answering these phone calls no more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Too funny. But have you ever like had like a falling out with your friends? Like and then been able to like get back to was it the same after the falling out?
I feel like my falling outs with friends, I don't want to say they're big. I want to say like if we have had them, I'm a great communicator, but what I had to learn is that everyone doesn't communicate the same way as me, right? So I'll be like, let's talk it out. Like, what are we doing? Not ignoring each other and stuff like that for? Like, let's talk. Yeah. And eventually we'll talk and we'll figure it out. But they'll be like, you know, I just didn't know how to come to you. I didn't know how to bring the conversation up or something like that. And then I feel like we get back to a good place. But I feel like I've had friendships too where we went through it too many times. And then I had to say, all right, like this.
Enough.
Yeah, like something's wrong that we keep miscommunicating or not understanding each other. So like at that point you're like, this just ain't worth it.
So for me it was like I was really thinking about this, which I think is like also something that you have to kind of deal with it and have it on your heart, because now that we were in a quarantine, there are people who reached out to me, you know, that was like, oh, you know, I'm just checking on you or whatever. And so I looked at that like, okay, you just want to check in, or like, too, like, what's the purpose? But if we had a falling out, I really feel like, okay, you checked on me, I checked on you, it is what it is. So I think it does change the dynamics of your friendship and everything that happens. But I don't know, that's really tricky because I feel like nothing will ever be the same.
I truly feel like I don't want it to be the same.
Yeah,
we fell out because there's an issue, and if we go back to it being the same, we're going to fall out again because that means nobody in the situation changed.
Yep.
So I wouldn't want
valid point
to grow. If it's big enough for a fallout, then there's something major, some type of understanding that we have to come to. We can't just be like, okay, it's been 2 days and I miss you. No, this ain't the
I see that with people all the time. I'm not speaking to her. I haven't spoken to her in 2 weeks. I'm not speaking to her. They're like, how is that your friend? And you call each other friends. But I just want to read this quote really quick. I posted it today. Actually, Adrian sent it to me, and I like fell in love with it. And it says, you don't lose real friends, real opportunities, or real relationships when you start standing up for yourself and setting clear boundaries. You lose abusers, manipulators, narcissists, control freaks, attention seekers, and mental health destroying leeches.
Whoa.
So
the whole word.
I'll just let that sit.
True. It's so true. Like what we said earlier, right? Like sometimes we just hold on to these toxic relationships because we're afraid of, you know, losing someone. Just we don't want to lose people. But then once they're gone, you're like, I feel lighter. Or I can breathe.
Yeah.
And it's because they were weighing you down or they were controlling you in some form that you didn't even know. They were manipulating you. So it's like sometimes you think you lost, but you really won.
I know that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of toxic friendships, we have a guest and we're going to bring her in right now. Hey!
Hello!
Hi, ladies.
Can you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Charmaine. I'm Adrian and Shantae's little cousin.
Okay.
So that's just me. I'm from New York, Queens, just like the rest of y'all. Well, Adrian, Shawnee from the Bronx, so. It's all love.
Ernie got California love.
But I moved
Washington love.
Washington love.
We're in California.
I'm in California now, yeah.
Nice. What part?
We're doing a whole interview.
It's like an hour away from LA.
Oh, okay. Well, my other cousins
so
cool.
So, Jim, what is your scenario today?
Well, so I have like this friend.
Okay. Oh, air quotes.
Who is a little shady. Like I feel like we're in competition instead of like being a friend. Like the thing is, like I'm super, super supportive. Like if I have to be like you, my friend, I got you. Like you know what I'm saying. We here. You need me, I'm here. But instead of like feeling like that's reciprocated, I feel like it's like she's trying to one up me all the time. Like, oh yeah, so you doing this? Oh yeah, well I'm on this too, or I'm doing something better, or I'm over here with it, or like. You lost 20 pounds? Oh, I lost 22. So, like, what you doing? I'm like, girl, like, are we friends or what?
He's doing the most. Sorry.
I got so much.
Continue.
My friends, is this a toxic situation that I need to eliminate, like how do I go about the conversation? Like I don't know, because I be wanting to like.
Can I ask some qualifying questions?
Try Jesus.
Because that makes me sway. Can I ask you a few questions?
Of course.
So is your friend normally insecure?
Not maybe not.
Don't confuse loudmouth with confidence.
Ooh. Come on, Ernie.
Oh, I'm a different guru. Y'all know that's one of my titles.
That's right.
Interesting.
Because it could be an intimidation. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, that's toxic, but it could be like, I don't want you to feel like I'm less than, so you don't want. Okay, it's like a job, right? You go to a job interview and you're overqualified. They're not going to hire you because they feel like you're going to leave. So if you feel like she's not doing what you're doing, she may not even notice it's like a one-upping thing. She may just think like, if I say I'm doing this too, then she'll think I'm worthy.
Oh, okay. I mean,
you know, so it could be that. But if it's like, I mean, tell her next week you're going to the moon. But I think you should have a conversation and possibly bring it to her attention, because some people are scared to tell people they're one-uppers, and some people are naturally one-uppers. I had a friend I had a friend that was a one-upper, and it was just like I would just start saying stuff randomly just so she can. I'm like, yeah, and I ran 4 miles. No, and I'm not running no 4 miles. But she's like, yeah, you know, I did that before, but you know what? I did it with hurdles, and I'm like, okay, cool. That makes for a great story. But I mean, you could have fun with it. But I mean, it's. I think you should bring it to her attention that it's happening, because she may not even know. But if she knows that she's doing it, then it's like, then what are you saying about me? Do you not want to champion me and the things that I'm doing? I'm not telling you to, because she might think you're boasting about the things that you're doing, and you're just excited about what's going on in your life.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that could still be her insecurity, right? Thinking that you're bragging when you're really just living your life being her fabulous self, right? So. I think definitely have a heart-to-heart and in a one-on-one, like a personal, like, can we like really talk about this? Because, you know, when I mention things and you like try to play what I'm doing, or you belittle what I'm doing, or whatever it is, or one up what I'm doing, I feel like you're trying to, like, you're in competition with me, and we're friends and there's no competition. Like, I'm in my lane, you're in your lane, we can all win out here. So it feels weird. Can you help me understand? Put it in that way for them to like feel like they're teaching.
I'm going with Shawnee as well. I feel like the best way to do it is evaluate what type of friend this is. So if she's one of those people like we talked about, your day one, your rider, your best friend, have that open and honest conversation with her and be like, this is what it is. I feel this way. We should support each other. We're definitely in a time where we're like, yes, queens, yes, bosses, you know, improve, empower, and inspire everybody. So if she's not on that type of level, then you got to figure out, okay, how can I smoothly cut her off? Because it's all about uplifting each other. And if she brings that negative energy in your life, that's not something that you need. And then if she doesn't understand, just bring up a situation like, okay, I remember a time when this happened in my life and you said that this happened, because she could, with that insecurity trait, she could be like, I've never done that before. Like, you know, because I don't feel that way. I love you to death. And then you hit her with scenario A, scenario B. And then let her know, like,
I feel like
that's the wrong way too.
I discussed that right before. It's always about how you approach things and how you say things, right?
Yes.
Because if you come to me and you're like, I just became the manager of Nike, and now she's like, I'm the manager of Bloomingdale's. If it was said a different way, it could have been you saying, I'm the manager of Nike, and she's like, that's dope. I just became the manager of Bloomingdale's. We both lit.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels better. It's like, oh, we voting, we
winning together.
Opposed to, well, I'm Bloomingdale's. What Nike got on you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's the way people say things, because maybe she doesn't mean it that way, but she's coming off wrong. But that's why the conversation definitely needs to be had, because if she doesn't recognize it, which would be pretty strange if she's doing it all the time, then at least you could correct it without cutting her off. right? But if you continue to do the same thing, that just means she just doesn't give a F, and then it's just time to say bye.
And remember, you don't have to dim your light so anybody else could shine brighter. It don't work that way.
With that quote. Go ahead with that quote. Another thing is it's about delivery too. So I think you should set the mode for it. Like if y'all are close enough to go out to lunch, or if she comes over, and you kind of open it with why you love being around her. Like, tell her that she's dope. Drop her defenses, because if you just go in for the kill, then it's gonna be, depending on what type. Like, it doesn't sound like your friend's very meek and timid, so it could turn into something that you didn't mean for it to turn into. So you're gonna want to go in it and tell her why you love being around her, but then just say, this is starting to bug me, and I don't even know if you're doing it. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate
How you feel about that, girl?
I got some work to do.
But don't pull out a list. Wait, that was the list thing. Because the moment you pull out a list, you're gonna be like, so are we friends, or are you making a list of what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, just have it up here. And then when you go to say it, be like, or that other time, take a pause.
Exactly.
No AK-47er.
But one thing you should definitely keep track of yourself is how many times you got to have this conversation.
Yes.
Because if you're continuously having this conversation, this person is not trying to change. They're not hearing you. They're not trying to respect you. And then you got to reevaluate how you deal with this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Some people you just can't get rid of, and I understand that or whatever, but you definitely can change how you react and respond to the things that they say and do.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you feeling good about this? Or are you feeling?
You got this. Hype up, sis. You got this.
But are you going to come back and let us know what happened?
Yes.
I will. I promise I will.
I did get a comment on this one, and Marcus Graham says people like that don't change; they don't see it. So that's something to keep in mind.
In my heart, yeah, because I think I might go into the conversation expecting a certain outcome, and then be heartbroken that it didn't turn out the way that I expected it to.
Yeah.
Prepare for either way, because sometimes I feel like I've had. Not this conversation, but in other conversations with this particular friend, it's like, girl, like it's like everything is belittled. Like, I don't even mean it like that. Like, girl, you know how I am, or like it's just like they justify the fact that like this is who they are. Like, but like, just
not okay.
Who are doesn't make it right. And like, I'm just not gonna like that can be you over there, but like I don't have to deal with that because I don't have to get knocked down every time I feel like I'm doing something.
Definitely.
Good. And then you shutting me down because you litter or you bet like I'm not with it.
Yeah.
Well, people do that too because other people always allow them to do it. So when they say, "Oh, that's just me," people be like, "Oh, okay." You have to be like, "I get that that's you, but it hurts me."
Yeah.
Right.
Like people don't correct people a lot, so they let them go now. Oh, that's just her, and then that turns into that's just her. And then when you guys stop speaking for several months, you don't know where that went. You don't remember what the root of that was. So I think that you just have to tell her when because if she's gonna say it, I get that that's you, but that hurts me. And for us to move forward, I can't have my best friend hurting me. Like, this hurts me. And if she truly values you, she's not gonna do anything to hurt you. She will adjust that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asking for a kidney.
This is what I'm saying.
Is she watching? Maybe we can tell her about herself. No, I'm just
I'm sure that I'm gonna post y'all on my Instagram and my Facebook, so hopefully tune in.
Right, maybe they'll see it.
Thank you.
And I'm just throwing a name out here, but look, Felicia, we're talking about you. I hope her name is not Felicia.
Felicia.
Oh my God, imagine if it was.
Right, I was like, horrible.
Like, who told you?
Right.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef.
Keep doing you're beautiful, you're amazing, and I'm so proud of all of you. So just keep shining.
Thank you. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Love you guys so much.
Love you.
So hey, before we get started, everyone that can see us, see you, see us. If you have comments, please go to the Herview page and post your comments. We want to see your profiles, shout you out, and say hey to you. So go over there, make your comment, tune in, stay tuned.
While we're on that, I have a few comments and questions I have in the chat. So we have some people to ask how can they join. Just like Ernie said, if you want to participate in the conversation, please write your questions, comments, or scenarios there. I want to shout out my godmother, Ann Johnson. She said, y'all like the real, come on, let's talk.
Yeah.
We got Jay coming in with the better than the real. Okay. We got Chef back, definitely killing it, ladies. Shout out to Chef,
What's up, Chef?
And then, my godmother again came back. She says, I pray all you get a TV spot. I have a station to introduce y'all to offer me a spot. So amen to that. And I hope that,
I receive it.
Consistent.
I receive it. Okay?
Speak it into
the syndication in the checks.
Yes.
Amen.
I love it. Too funny. Yeah, those toxic relationships are hard.
They are.
So you have to recognize if they're toxic or if they're just hard. Like we have that label on things that are just hard sometimes, and just it could be your best friend, but y'all probably grew apart a little bit. So it's like getting it back together, mending those fences before we write it off as like, okay, this is toxic.
Okay.
Can't do it.
But we all know, like, even when people like apologize for things, if you keep doing the same stuff over and over again, are you really sorry? Like, a real apology is changed behavior. So if you're noticing that the person is not changing their behavior, are you going to keep repeating yourself saying, you're hurting me, or are you just going to cut them off and go about, your business?
I always give the plate situation. You guys know the plate situation?
Tell us the plate situation.
So if you take a plate and you drop it on the floor, right? It shatters. And you can put the plate back together. You may not find some of the pieces, but if it shatters and you like epoxy it and it's good to go, is the plate still broken?
Yeah.
So like you can't just keep saying sorry and thinking that this plate's gonna mend itself back together and weld and just be a great plate anymore.
Right.
Like, we gotta work on that.
It never looks the same. Never.
Well, I have a scenario question that popped up. From the male perspective, he asked, what happens if your friend's significant other attempts to make romantic passes at you? Help me, sis. What should I do?
You better tell your friend.
Yes, immediately.
Okay, like yesterday.
Speed Gonzalez fast. Like when she said, you should have went and told him. Don't even let her get fine out. Like, y'all can't be in the kitchen at that day. Your booty. Like, no. We need to stop this before it ever happens, because you're gonna be mad when she go and had a little pillow talk with him when she realized her spot about to get blown, and then now you the bad guy because he gonna fight you. Right? Y'all are men. You done disrespected his house. You done came to his house and ate his food and was trying to sneak at his, and he gonna tell the whole hood. Or I don't know if you're from the hood, but he gonna tell the whole hood that you try to take his girl.
To everybody.
Right. You gonna be a Facebook meme. You need to tell. If that's your real best friend, then that's you snitch. You snitch.
Yeah, absolutely. And like she said, if it's your real best friend, for one, hopefully they will believe you, right? Because
that's what I'm talking about.
People get in relationships and they're so in love that they can't see through the BS sometimes, right? So hopefully they believe you. And hopefully you guys, they have that conversation with their spouse. Like, what are you doing? I mean, it's up to them at that point whether or not they want to stay with them, because we can't as a friend be like, you need to get rid of that person. That's not our place. And you don't want to make that weirdness between your friends too, where they feel like they can no longer come to you, where they feel like they got to choose between the spouse and a friend. But it's something that you need to do so that you clear the air for yourself.
So I have a plot twist to this as well, or a little drop in. What if, do you keep her around? Not around in a relationship, but like, are y'all still, y'all going to the movies? Is she invited? Like, what,
So after you find out that she's been flirting with your friend, are you keeping her?
Yeah, like, you could still, if you want to keep her, right? And you're like, okay, I'm keeping her. She's still my girl. We're going to work through it, right? If that's the scenario, right? And then y'all hit me up the next day like, oh, we're going to play pool. Like, is she coming along to play pool with us?
Do you trust her? Because that's what it's all about.
Because there's certain people I'm not having around my man, you know, because there's certain people that's like, tricky, you're not wearing that shirt. Like,
well, that's different if it was the friend approaching her, but it's his girl approaching her friend. Right. So it would be different if your friend was trying to get at your dude, but it's not your friend trying to get at your dude. It's your girl trying to get at your friend. So do I trust you? And can I say I can go to the bathroom and know that you'll be cool? Because if you try to get with my homeboy, you'll try to get with a stranger at the bowling alley. Like,
okay, that part.
So if your trust level is up there and you're secure and you know her heart and she can say, oh, he misinterpreted or it was a mistake and you see that, that's one thing. But if you got to think about not having fun with your peoples because you got to keep this girl in a cage, nah, bro.
That's not a good time.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like if I have to say, listen, she can't be around while the homies is around or whatever, why keep her, right? Because every place you go, you're gonna feel uncomfortable. Like, oh no, I gotta go to the bathroom, so you coming with me? Like, no, who wants to do that? So at that point, you need to just let go of that relationship.
You coming with me?
You coming with me to the bathroom? I can't trust you to sit at the table with the homies because.
Your significant other should not need a babysitter.
You're like, hey, my dad's left at the table. Come to the bathroom with me because you can't sit at the table.
Yeah, just let go at that point.
Oh no. Hell no.
So, ladies, we have another guest.
Come on with these questions.
I'm bringing it.
Hey.
Hi, Sam.
Hi,
Guess the purple.
Introduce yourself, sis.
Hi, everybody. I'm Just Fab, and no, I'm not the store, but I'm a longtime friend of Adrian's and a recent friend of my darling diving in stilettos. So nice to join you all. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
So what's your scenario for the day, sis? What happened?
I've been drinking wine all day preparing for this moment.
Well, I hope we get the right scenario.
No wine left.
So my question is, we're in a pandemic and we don't know how long the pandemic is going to last until. And, at the same time, we don't want cobwebs developing down there.
Ooh.
So,
this is my type of question.
Ernie was like, what?
Ernie got it.
So there's been this guy who I've actually met almost 3 years ago. We met like late October of 2017. We tried dating, but he had to move out of state. So I wasn't willing to do a long distance relationship. And so he went his way, I went my way, and then we reconnected again. He is still out of state, but he's taking the initiative to make sure that I'm involved. So if he's like, if you want to see me this weekend, I'll book your flight and, we'll hang out, so on, etc. So he's taking that step to show me that although we're not together, we can still be together. So my question mostly pertains to, in a time of a pandemic where you're supposed to be by yourself, how smart is it to have a long distance relationship in general during these times where everything is uncertain?
So long distance relationship where you're traveling, where you're actually doing the back and forth.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go last because
I mean, honestly, isn't that the safest way to date right now? The long distance.
No, but they're going to see each other. So there's planes, there's airports, they're traveling to see each other. Well,
how often? What's the space? Like, how far? What is the distance?
So I'm in Maryland. He's in Atlanta. And we have another
from Atlanta too, girl.
We have another trip where he's planning on flying me back again to see him. So it's like, and being that I'm also a school teacher, so the school is going to be virtual, so it allows me more flexibility to travel.
It does.
So,
are you afraid to travel?
Oh no, I was on that plane and I was chilling in Atlanta.
That's right.
Hey, well, kudos to that, sir, because he's doing something right.
I feel like for me, I'm always very nervous about long distance relationships in general. But if he's making an effort to come see you or fly you out, okay, then I mean, I say go for it. Why not?
But it's long distance, and I require attention.
Well, see, then
Is he giving you that attention though? Are you satisfied with what's going on?
Well, this is the thing. So although I've known him for almost 3 years, we've never been intimate, like ever.
Then what you talking about? Oh, sorry.
Maybe got so long.
We've never. It's always been like, I like you, you like me, but I'm the kind of person where if I don't see anything substantial, you need to see what I got. Like, no, show me what you got, and I show you what I got. So now that I see he's putting the effort forward, I'm kind of like a little curious, but at the same time, because I know we're on air, but I have a very high sex drive. So I don't know how that's going to work out with a long distance person because I need.
Well, I mean, is this a person that you kind of like feel like you could have a future with?
Right. He's
Because
a marriage.
okay, so if that's the case, then I know you're kind of a little horny rabbit right now, right?
She didn't answer that question.
But
She didn't answer that question. She didn't answer that question. She didn't, and I'm pointing over there. She didn't answer that question. You said, "Is this somebody you think about having a future with?" She said, "We talked about marriage." That could be. I want to get married. You want to get married. We just want to get married. That doesn't mean to each other. It's someone that you
get it. That's
but
true.
they're talking about a future, right? Then we gotta ask, are you talking about a future together?
Right. She didn't answer that question.
Well, because when we tried almost 3 years ago, it was like cut short because he had to move out of state. We didn't really pursue it on that level. Mm-hmm. But now that we reconnected again, we're trying to see if we can connect it on that level. So we're just at like the fresh start, really, even though it's been 3 years of us knowing each other.
Okay. Well, I think like you guys have to still get to know each other, right? Because you've never lived in the same state, right? So you have to like learn other ways to be intimate, right? There are 8 different kind of intimacies. Sex is not the only intimacy. So you got to connect on an intellectual level, physical level. Well, you can't right now because it's COVID, but an emotional level, a spiritual intimacy, a recreational intimacy where, you guys maybe have a FaceTime day where you're doing sipping paints together and stuff like that. So reading books together. So there's other ways to get a deeper connection to know if you want to even go further with that sexual intimacy. Mm-hmm. So I feel like even though you're like horny and you're like ready to like go at it, if you connect on other levels, then maybe when you do talk about that future stuff, then you'll be talking about it together because you'll be on the same page and want the same things from each other.
Well, I agree with you, and we're trying to do that right now since I'm back home, and we're trying to see which way to go. But one of the things that's been proposed to me was that he is adamant about me moving to Atlanta.
That was already my question. Who's going to be the person to move?
Yeah, because that always comes up.
He wants me to move, but I'm on the verge of my career. And so I'm kind of like, oh my God, I'm almost there. Like I have this goal that I want to reach. And I don't want to, I'm always career driven, and I don't want to have to be that woman to say, okay, I chose to be with you, but now I'm looking at you with regret because of
no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I truly feel like you know your answer because everything you've said is more so like it's cool and I think it's something to do in a pandemic right now, so it's fun. It gives you something to do, but I think all in all, there's too many negatives. And once the pandemic's over, you're not going to want to do the traveling. You're not going to be able to do the traveling, which is going to cause a rift in the relationship. Not only that, you haven't test drove that thing, so you're going to go ahead and spend another however many years in this pandemic test driving and be like, what? Oh.
Now I want to get out. And I'm want to get out. I love her.
But he knows my heart. So I don't know. Like I feel like you know the answer already. I feel like you know that for you it's fun right now and it's exciting, but because he wants you to make all the sacrifices as being a career-driven woman, I don't think you're willing to make those unless you find a great opportunity in Atlanta. But that's gonna have to fall in your lap.
Right.
You know.
Oh,
Are you dating though?
Thank you. Huh?
Are you dating other people, or are you exclusively dating him?
I was talking to somebody prior to, and that person, I feel as though like we were friends before anything sexual came about. So I have a different love and respect for him. But he's not mentally ready for any kind of relationship. And so, but he articulated that to me so many times where like I engraved it in my mind that this is who he is and where he's at his point of his life. So I can't hold that against him, but he's my friend. That's like that's my buddy. So when I realized that I can't break that, and to the respect of our friendship, I didn't want to like constantly break it up to damage it. And then, you know, the opportunity came about where the other guy came back in my life. I was like, you know, let me explore it. Let me see what happens. And for me exploring it, I'm like, okay, he's a good guy. I wouldn't mind, you know, this being something. So as of now, I'm just talking to that guy from Atlanta, but I still adore the friendship that I have with the guy back home.
So I really feel like you're using Atlanta for a space filler until Romeo of your heart is really ready.
Yep.
So you sound like my therapist right now, but
but it's real talk right there. But Fab, what you said was, you know, that he's been telling you things, right? So I think a part of us as women, we really don't, we hear what we want to hear. Right? If he says that I'm not ready, I don't want to make this commitment yet, or I want you to move here, listen to what he is saying. Because if he's saying that he wants a future, but he never mentions I want a future with you, right? That's very important. And then when you guys really do talk about that, you can't be surprised that he's like, oh, I said this, this is my actions, you know, listen to what he is saying. But I'm going with Ernie. I feel like you know your choice, sis.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you need it, that's fine. That's what we're here for. So
I was gonna say, sometimes you just gotta say it out loud. It's okay. You can go practice in the mirror too.
But I mean, in the meantime, if you still want to have fun and have a relationship, I think it needs to be clear, right? Clear for both of you guys so that nobody gets hurt in the midst of you having fun.
Yeah.
If you still want to have fun, if he still wants to fly you out and hang out, then go for it. It's the pandemic. Everybody, you know, is trying to look for connections in one way or the other, even though they should be 6 feet away. But
but I do want a relationship. That's the thing. I do want a relationship. I do want to take it there to that next level. I know the dating game. I've been there, done that, explored it. So it's kind of like I am ready for that next step. Right. And here comes this guy who's presenting that to me. And it's like, you know, of course it's not the first time, but still now I'm at the point where I can mentally take it in to say, yes, I acknowledge that this is the route that we're trying to take, instead of, oh, he's just talking nonsense, you know? Right. So I do want to take it there, but my whole thing is with the other questions of, do I have to sacrifice my career? How is it going to work long distance wise? Will our love languages match in between? That's the part where I'm just trying to figure out, is it going to be worth it? And I'm that girl who, if you chew too loudly, I'm out. You know, I look for any excuse to be out. So I'm really trying to make this work right here.
But do you hear what you said?
Too loud, he out.
Do you hear what you said though?
Yeah.
You said, I do want a relationship. I do want to get married. I do want these things, but you never said you wanted them with him.
Right. That is exactly what I was about to say.
And you said too loud.
Go ahead, take a drink.
That part.
You know, Shawnee, as a dating expert, would you say in long distance relationships that you guys should have like a timeline? Like if this doesn't happen by January, then we just need to call it quits? Or should there be no timeline in a, you know?
I mean, honestly, it depends on the couple, right? There's some people who honestly will stay in a long distance relationship because it just works. Like, I like having my own space. I like having your own space. I like to travel. It's fun. And then there are some people like, okay, we're going to do this until, and then we have to be together. So you have to decide like what works for you. In Fab's case, you obviously are very career driven right now. So moving to Atlanta is not at the top of your list. Moving anywhere outside of what's going to get you where to your goal is not an option for you. So maybe that's something that you just have to focus on and get through that point. Now, I'm sure you're a very ambitious woman, so is going to be another goal after that. You do know that. So it's like, are you going to constantly just chase goals and leave love behind? Or are you going to say, okay, after I reach this specific goal, then I will open myself up to love and I will be able to receive it to the person who wants to, you know, give it to me and that I'm willing to take it from. Versus saying, oh, I'm just going to maybe we'll see what happens, but I don't want to feel pressure. There's no pressure.
No pressure.
There's no pressure.
But a person that really wants to be with you will make it so there's no pressure. So if he's really guy, it's not going to be a problem that you're career driven. He's going to champion you in that, and he's going to be like, all right, babe, go get that. You got it. I'm right here when you're ready.
Exactly. And I think it would be dope if he was even searching for some opportunities out in Atlanta and sharing them with you.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. Where he at?
No support. We have some comments for Fabi.
Okay.
Yeah. We got long distance and safe right now, but watch those Georgia boys.
That's right.
Oh, Lord, sister. Wait before you make a move, girl.
Wait, what's the Georgia boys? Can we expand on that for a little bit?
You will fall in love.
Miss Ann, please tell us more about the Georgia boys.
Gonna get you.
Well, I think
the Southern boys.
I think maybe there's just some stereotypes people put on Georgia, especially in the men's selection. So they're just saying watch them. I think you need to watch all types of boys coming from everywhere. But
that Southern charm is the thing. It's not just Georgia boys. Them men down south will talk you into slapping your mama.
Southern hospitality.
I've never slapped my mother, but that's something about a what to do, shawty, or something. It makes you do something.
Oh Lord, not a what to do, Lord.
Well, thank you for joining us, Fabi.
Yes.
How we helped you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just helped the wine company. She's about to go buy 3 more bottles. I don't want to talk to them anymore.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Keep us updated.
Okay.
That was good. Wow.
That was really good. Shawnee, because our time is running out, but before we do go, I would love for you to read one of the scenarios.
Yes. I have a scenario, and here it is. Like, here it go. Okay. So, my husband of 2 years got weight loss surgery in January behind my back. Wow. He said it was a bladder surgery. He has lost too much weight, and I don't find him attractive with his flabby skin and saggy penis. Also, my boyfriend wants to move in, but he's too broke. Help! What say you?
Throw the whole woman away.
I'm like stressed out. Flabby skin.
There's so much wrong in that.
There is. First of all,
no right in that. There's like no right in that.
Why did he feel like he had to do it behind her back?
Absolutely.
I think
a big problem.
To me, it seems like she might like thicker men. And so maybe he felt like maybe he was like unhealthy, or maybe he just was tired of carrying the weight. It was too much for him. So he went and got the surgery. This way, saying like, I had to get this surgery, me losing weight. This is just what happened. I hope you still love me. And now she's like, you're not a thickum. So,
But even still, it's like, okay, so if you know your girlfriend's going to have that mindset, you know eventually you're going to end up dropping the weight because you had the weight loss surgery. Right. So that just means you have to really decide for yourself, your wife, you're having this surgery, so you have to really decide if this is a place that you want to be, because obviously you know once it happens that she's going to talk about it. She's going to find something wrong with it if she likes you in this thicker nature. She's obviously not thinking about the health benefits that may come with you losing the weight and other stuff. She's only thinking about your saggy penis or whatever she just said. Like,
I'm gonna read this comment talking about he lost weight in the wrong places. Lord, he spent all his cash on trying to look good. LOL. Lord, help me, Lord.
I mean, that's hard.
Well, no, the boyfriend's a different person. The boyfriend's not the husband. The husband has
a boyfriend and a husband.
Yeah.
Right. She has
it's not. Yeah, it's 2 different people.
So she wants to bring the boyfriend live What?
Wait.
No.
Her boyfriend wants her to move in with him, but he's broke, so she doesn't want to live with the boyfriend. He don't got no money.
So she got too many requirements, right? He can't have a flabby skin. He can't be broke. Sis, it's you. It's not them. It's you. You deserve to be single. You deserve it.
You get with somebody because they're aesthetically pleasing to you, right? So that's what you get, that the physical attraction. But then after a while, if you've married this person, it's about their heart now, right? It should be, right?
Should be.
So you're willing to give up a good man because he's not thick no more and his penis is like, there's surgeries for all this, sis. Like,
it sure is.
But is he the same person at core? I could see if she was saying he got the weight loss surgery, now he treats me different, or I'm a bigger girl and he's now trying to talk me into it, or he don't like my size, but she's not saying any of that. She's just saying physically, I don't like to look at him, but I'm over here with a boyfriend because I'm committing adultery now. I'm over here with a boyfriend.
Adultery.
Right. But honest, that is the truth, because he has a great heart or whatever, but she never respected him in the first place because she went out and got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So clearly she's not a good person.
Because he's not broke. That's why she was with him, because he's not broke and she could actually climb that mountain and do what she needs to do with it. But now that he's changed and appears, this surgery for him was a blessing. And my advice would be to him: run, young man, run.
Run, far away.
That appreciate. Go find somebody with your flabby skin, and then when you get with them and they appreciate you, then you get the skin surgery, and then you be fine as all get out, and you're with a person who wants you because your heart, not because
Exactly. You don't have to have secret surgeries. You shouldn't be in a relationship where you feel like you have to have a secret surgery. Like, that's gonna be a red flag.
A donkey.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Over it.
Poor thing. Yeah, I wish she's the one who wrote in, so I will say, sis, you need to leave everybody alone.
Everybody, please.
Soul searching.
Yeah.
You know, you need to leave these people, because the husband is a good person. The boyfriend, he obviously loves you because he wants you to move in, not unless he just wants you to pay some bills. I don't know your situation. But I know that the only person you can control in this situation is you. Mm-hmm. And maybe you just need to clear everybody out and start all over.
Yeah.
Because you're not appreciating what you have. Clearly.
Amen.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. So I don't want y'all to be mad at me, right? You know, this is a new week, new game, new options. You know, we can discuss, you know. So this week or today is all about girlfriends. So we're going to play either or, but we have 2 different rounds, and this is a 3-part game.
Okay.
So, well, just 2 options and then another part. So either or, right? You're going to pick which shows or sitcom that you like the most.
Okay.
Girlfriend versus Living Single.
Living Single.
Ooh.
I like Max.
Living Single.
I'm going to say Girlfriend.
I'm going with Girlfriend.
Like, I just...
Max and Kyle? Are you kidding?
Right.
That is the greatest TV hookup
Sinclair
ever.
and Overton. That's really finding your person.
That's equally yoked.
Right.
I don't know,
Coach Tay. Next round.
Yeah. So we moving on to the next round. We have Sex in the City versus the Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
Golden Girls.
I'm going to Sex in the City.
What?
You're a little freaking sneaky.
Yeah.
It's all about the Golden Girls. All about them.
Right. I mean, well, for me, because I did say we could explain, but I did grow up with the Golden Girls, but for me, I prefer Sex in the City because I felt like I can relate to them and where I was in my life. So I watched the Golden Girls growing up, but then as I finished watching them and they got off air, I was like, oh, well, Sex in the City, they got about a trillion episodes and they just gonna keep playing them. So for me, it was more relevant in my head. So
for me, it's exactly the opposite of your reasoning, was because I grew up with them, and now as I'm older and I'm still watching them, I promise you I can watch the same episode 4 times and catch little things.
Every time.
Like I understand the jokes different. And it's just it really was like real life versus Sex in the City is only a certain group of people's lives. more the socialite kind of thing, and
yeah,
I ain't a socialite, so.
Sophie is my favorite.
Right.
Yeah. So we got one for living single because I think she says I like Kyle.
Yep.
Then we have Golden Girls. That's me. It definitely is. That's my godmother. She loves her some Golden Girls. Okay, so the next part is I chose one show, and I want you to choose who you would be or what character you would be in that show. So the show I chose is Girlfriends. Would you be Joan, Maya, Lynn, or Tony?
Oh gosh. The crazy thing is they all had issues.
Right.
And I had none of their issues.
Right.
I don't know.
I think I would be Maya.
Okay.
I did the single mom thing for a while. This mouth, of course, as y'all know. I will say anything that comes. I think I'm more Maya. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go with Lynn because I liked how much of a free spirit she was.
I was about to say that. I
Right?
wouldn't go with her, but she is definitely a free spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. This is so hard.
I'll probably go with Tony because I feel like she had a lot of questions and like in her life, and she always wanted to, like, she was a boss. So I feel like I'm a boss. And two, she was about that like career driven, and then later on in life, she wanted that family. So I feel like a part of me is like that. Like I'm very career driven, and then now like I got to think about as I'm getting older, do I want a family, and if so, would that, quote unquote, mess up my career?
Yeah. Tony was also very self-absorbed. Like she cares about herself and herself only. So she was career driven, but she would put everybody else around her down.
Yeah.
And she was really materialistic, and I just don't think those
materialistic. Even with her own husband in the show, it was like they always battled, and it was just very weird. Not saying that
she made it very clear she married him because he was a doctor.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so for you, he's a broke doctor.
Well, he ain't broke.
That part.
Oh my god, love it.
All right,
another one.
No, that was it. That was it for the game. We got either or. Trying to figure out which one who y'all would be. There were also actually different shows that I would qualify as something of celebrating girlfriends, like the Parkers. I was thinking about Sister as well, because you could sit there and be like, well, they're not really like girlfriends, but that's another time that I think about like family. And would you consider like your families to be one of those like my best friends? These are my sisters. This is my life, my day one.
Yeah, I think your family can definitely be like your best friends, sisters, cousins. Like you decide what they are and the role they play in your life. You can just be cousins, but you be like, that's my sister. Like, so I will say this though, like just know like throughout your journey in life, you are going to meet new people, you are going to make new friends, and that's what you're supposed to do because that's a part of your growth. So don't ever like, let other friends tell you, oh, no new friends, or who you meeting now, and make you feel bad about, socializing, because this is what this whole life is about, networking with people and growing and being your best you. So go out and make some friends and be self-aware, because you also have to take accountability for the type of friend that you are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So.
Amen.
Good luck, y'all.
Yes, heartful there.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We had a lot of comments, just a lot of people viewing. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You can also follow us on YouTube, Herview. You can follow us on Facebook, Herview Podcast, on Instagram, Herview. And the episodes will be up on Apple Podcasts as well. So make sure that you share, like, comment, repost. And if you want, you can leave a comment on our Apple Podcast page. And make sure that you show us all the love and support. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank y'all for tuning in. If you like what you heard, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you will be notified at every time we drop a new post for you. Thanks for tuning into Herview. Bye.